Hi everyone! Today I want to talk about my top 10 favorite Eevee battle moves in Pokemon Sword and Shield. They are mostly attack moves which had helped me in my challenge to play the whole game with just Eevees. I will also explain my rationale of why I like each of the moves and when it could be useful. First, before we start, let's talk about one move that's really cool, even though it didn't make it to my top 10 list, and that is Retaliate. Retaliate is a physical move that has a descent power of 70, and that can double if an ally Pokemon fainted in the previous turn, as what we have here. The graphics for this move is really cool too. Unfortunately, it has a very low power points of just 5, which makes it less desirable compared to other moves. However, I think it could be useful in some cases, such as in double battle where your other ally Pokemon fainted, or potentially in the max raid battle. Without further ado, let's start with number 10, Covet. Covet is a normal type physical move with a base power of 60, and you can learn it as early as when you get your Eevee at level 1. Eevee spits out a lot of pink hearts, which is pretty cute. However, there are other normal type physical moves which are better, so Covet is number 10. Next, we have number 9, Irontail. Irontail is a move that Eevee can learn through a TR. You can find this TR in the wild area by buying them from the watch trader using 5000 watts. As for me, I found it from the watch trader in the Hammerlock Hills, just right near the stairs. Irontail is a steel-type physical move that has an amazing base power of 100. Given that most Eevee's moves are normal type, having a steel-type move could be useful, especially against Pokemon of Ice-type, Rock-type, and Fairy-type. So why does it rank low? That's because its accuracy of 75 is just pretty bad, and the opponent is likely to avoid your attack quite frequently. Next, we have number 8, Shadowball. Shadowball is a pretty strong ghost-type special move with a base power of 80. This is useful because Eevee has a lot of normal-type moves, which don't do any effect to other ghost-type Pokemons, so having Shadowball move is very handy here. Unfortunately, it didn't rank higher for me because Eevee can only learn Shadow Ball through a TR. For me, I got it as a real drop after winning Max Raid battle against Ghost-type Pokemon. And the best place to find this Ghost-type Max Raid is probably at the Watchtower ruins in the wild area. Next, we have number 7, Copycat. Unlike other moves in this video, Copycat is a status move and can be learned by Eevee after reaching level 30. Essentially what this move does is for Eevee to copy the previous move used in the battle, whether it's from the opponent or from Eevee itself from the previous turn. I like this move because it allows Eevee to use a lot of other moves that otherwise cannot be learned. It's always fun to watch how our cute Eevee looks like when it performs all kinds of moves. We made a previous video before where Eevee learns all 18 types of Pokemon moves through Copycat. If you're interested, you can click the card above or check out our channel. Unfortunately, Copycat move isn't that good because almost all Pokemon types except Ghost and Dragon are resistant to moves from the same type, so it's not much used beyond just having fun. Next, we have number 6, Swift. Swift is a normal type special move that Eevee can learn at level 20, or learn it through TM which Hop will give you early in the game. There are 3 nice things about Swift. First, it has an accuracy of infinity, which means it will never miss. Second, it's a special move, which could be useful sometimes as most of the other normal type moves for Eevee are physical. Third, it can hit all the opponents in a double battle. Unfortunately, there are better options later, so it's just number 6. Coming up next is Last Resort at number 5. Last Resort is a normal type physical move with an amazing base power of 140. Eevee can learn it at level 55. The only downside is that, just like what the name implies, you can only use this move after you have used all other moves Eevee know in the same battle. This could actually be helpful in a challenge run where you just have a single Eevee against all the Pokémons in the gym. Or if you feel like it, you can just have Eevee learn less moves, as what we have here against this Vaporeon. Next we have number 4, Bite. Bite is a Dark-type physical move with a base power of 60 that Eevee can learn at level 25. Its purpose for me is pretty much similar to Shadowball, which was ranked number 8. They are double effective against Ghost-type Pokémon and Psychic-type Pokémon. Admittedly, Bite has slightly less power than Shadowball. I ranked it higher just because it's easier for Eevee to learn, without having to use a TR. Now let's talk about the top 3, starting with number 3, Hypervoice. To learn Hypervoice, you will need to buy a TR for 5000 watts from the watt trader in the wild area. For me, I managed to find it from this watt trader here at the Depot Grove. Hypervoice is a pretty strong normal type special move with a base power of 90. It can also affect all the opponents in a double battle. This makes Hypervoice a much better choice compared to Swift that is ranked at number 6. The only downside compared to Swift is the accuracy of Hypervoice is only 100% instead of infinity of Swift. Though for practical purposes, this tends not to matter much in my use cases. Now let's talk about our number 2, Body Slam. Body Slam is a normal type physical move with a base power of 85. It also has a side effect where the opponent might become paralyzed after this move, potentially allowing you to move twice, which is really great. Why is this at number 2? Because I pretty much use this move almost exclusively in my challenge run to play the whole game with just Eevees, by powering through the opponents with Body Slam. This is especially useful if your Eevee has the adaptability with Adamant Nature, as the power for Body Slam will now be 50% plus 10% higher. To learn Body Slam, you need to use a TR, which you can find from the Watt Trader in the wild area, or from Real Drop after winning max raid battles with normal type Pokémons. For me, I managed to buy it from the Watt Trader at the meetup spots right before you enter the wild area. However, as we alluded before, Body Slam is a physical move which could make it a disadvantage sometimes against some Pokémon. For example, this Turtonator set up a shell trap that is activated when attacked by a physical move. Thus, using a special move such as Hypervoice here could have been better. And finally, let's talk about our number 1 move. For me, I will pick Dig as number 1. Dig is a ground-type physical move with a base power of 80. So why is it my favorite? There are actually a lot of reasons. First, as you know, normal-type moves are not effective against rock-type Pokémon and steel-type Pokémon. Conveniently, ground-type moves are double effective against the same 2 types of Pokémon, making it a great complement to other normal-type moves from Eevee. Secondly, the Dig move is a 2-turn move, where in the first turn, Eevee digs into the ground, allowing it to avoid attack from most of the moves from the opponents. Conveniently, Eevee will also not suffer from weather-related damages such as hail or sandstorm. Plus, if your Eevee has a health item of leftover, you get to gain some HPs for 2 turns in a row while only suffering damages from a single turn while your Eevee emerges from the ground. Furthermore, it's fairly easy for Eevee to learn it, as you can get the TM for Dig at the Route 6 right near the camp, before you face off the gym as Stow on Side Tongue. Compared to TR, TM is much more convenient as you can switch out this move in favor of other moves using the move tutor, based on who your next opponents are, without having to buy it again in a TR case. While you can always level up your Pokemon and force your way through the game using normal type moves such as Body Slam, having Dig make it more interesting. You will have more options to win the battle without having to level up. That's all for my top 10 favorite moves for Eevee in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Hope you enjoyed this video, and do check our other videos in this channel if you like Eevee and evolutions.